What's up, guys and gals? It's your boy Jeff, aka the Cantonese Comic Kid, aka the Cantonese Comic King. I'm actually got some guests today on the Extreme Nerd Table. They'll be with us in a minute, but welcome to Extreme Nerd Table, guys. So let me introduce Randall, or aka DC Randall, like we all call him, because he's a DC fan.
It's my new shirt. What's up, everybody?
Yep. And then let's introduce our godfather of the comic community, Mr. G-Man.
Yeah, love his cover.
Yep. Yeah.
How you doing?
The first topic it comes from Vigilante. Vigilante actually wants the topic.
You want to show me books off or anything before I go to the topic?
You got Randall. You got any books to show off since you got your store and stuff?
Let's hold off on the topic. Wait for people.
Yeah.
This has been a hot book for the week. Mr. Rob Liefeld, as many of you know who he is.
Yeah,
the legend.
I think it's high class toilet paper. That's what I think that is.
I got
Hey, man,
not too bad.
you can say that all you want, but
You're right.
money talks, man. He can sit there and he can show you all the experience.
I'm just being funny, man. I'm just making it be interesting.
I know. I know. Hey, you know you're successful when you have a bunch of haters. You know that's what
no kidding. Tell me about it.
Yeah. And so, anyways, this has been a hot book this week. It has officially sold out. This is actually the 1 in 10 variant. I have the two other covers.
We got yay! Looky! We got Tim.
Yeah, he is.
AKA Marlar Madness.
And Pulp Icon. What's up, Tim? Good to see you, man. But so
hey, it's Randall.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice little delay there.
Yeah, that's the only problem with his that's the only problem with your comic room is we get a little delay every once in a while.
Yeah.
But the Snake Eyes book has been a big financial success for IDW, for Rob Liefeld.
Yeah. I'm a Liefeld hater, so you guys know that much. I hate like how Robert hates feet. I hate Liefeld drawing feet.
That's about the only thing I don't like is the feet. Otherwise, everything else is okay with me. I mean, I got some Liefeld stuff that I like, actually.
Yeah. I know. I'm just saying. I just don't like Liefeld because I hate his feet. I hate how he draws feet.
Well,
hey, look.
How
King
many
Titus. What's up from all the way from Japan? How you doing? King Titus.
But anyways, that book is sold out. It came with two covers, cover A, cover B, and then of course the 1 in 10. That book.
No, it came with way more covers than that, man. Because if you count the
exclusive variant covers from other stores, and
of
course there's exclusive variants from Rob Liefeld directly himself.
Yeah.
He had one where he was selling it for like $80. You know, and I was just like, oof.
With some flat feet, with some flat duck feet up it.
I don't know.
I know, I'm just messing.
I know. But yeah, I mean, like it's a big hit. It's going into the second printing. Cool. So I imagine, what was it? I actually talked to a couple people on Facebook about it also. You know, because some people were showing off some of the books that they got. We were talking about Savage Dragon, and so Savage Dragon 250 came out, and I actually got the Rob Liefeld cover of that as well. And I talked to one guy, and he said that they sold out, or they didn't have any of the Savage Dragon comics in stock, but they had Snake Eyes. Another person said that all the G.I. Joe comic books were sold out. Right. You know, and he had to go to like another store to go get a copy. So I have a feeling the book's probably going to jump up in the next week or two. I wouldn't be surprised if speculators and people who have whatever number one issues that they have left, I wouldn't be surprised if they start bumping it up to like $10, because I think it's like a $5 cover price on that book.
Yeah, I'll wait for 2 months or 3 months. I'll wait for 2-3 months before when it hits.
Savage Dragon?
No, Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes.
Come here, sweetie. Come on.
So, but speaking of Fat Savage Dragon, I'm currently watching the animated series on the Peacock streaming service for free.
Oh, you found it.
Yeah, it's on there.
Oh, right on.
Both seasons, 20 episodes total.
Sit down.
It's just fun to watch. And you know, it's funny. Is like I didn't know that Jim Cummings was the voice of Dragon. So when I hear his voice, I'm like, it's Darkwing Duck. You know.
Oh,
So
yeah.
and there's some funny parts in that show. Like there's a part where one of the fellow police officers who's anti-freak, like he hates freaks and he doesn't like Savage Dragon, or he doesn't like Dragon, and something happened to him to where like he got hurt and he's not breathing, and so the Dragon's like, that's part of the job, and he goes and you see him giving him mouth to mouth, and he saves his life, and he's like, what happened? And Dragon just looks at him and he's like, hey, dinner and a movie. You know, like little funny things like that. You know, like it's a for what it's worth. I think it's a great show. I think it's definitely worth checking out. I'm so happy. I'm still mad that it's still not on DVD, but I'm happy that it's at least on a streaming service that I can watch. And also, I like to throw out Exo Squad. They have both seasons of Exo Squad, like roughly a little over 50 episodes. Great sci-fi animated series, ahead of its time, in my opinion. That is also on the Peacock, and a bunch of other stuff that's free to watch. You know, so I downloaded it on my Xbox. It's cool to check it out. They even have a couple comic book films that are on there. You know, like they had Spirits on there, the live action film. They've got Spawn, the live action film on there, and like maybe one or two other comic book films on there. So it's nice, like little variety of what they have on there. They even have like some of the classic Universal Monsters movies on there, which is great, and some classic Abbott and Costello movies. The ones where they meet the monsters. My favorite is when they meet Frankenstein. That's my all-time favorite. Yeah, but they have the one where they meet the mummy. They have the one where they meet I think Wolfman maybe. And then like
Wolfman and Dracula.
Yep.
Huh?
Wolfman and Dracula.
Wolfman and Dracula, yeah. So they have like several of those. So like I love those classic movies, you know, and I love those classic Universal monsters. You know, so I look forward to checking those out.
All right, since we got all the panelists here right now, the topic was from Vigilante was what do we feel about censorship in art or censoring art?
To myself.
Yeah, everybody's censoring art. Like Perillo and Carla were talking about it during an interview when I watched. They were saying how they would get, like they would put up like a Vampirella, you know, cover, a sexy cover, or one of the naughty covers they did, and they put that up, and they would get dinged for it on Instagram or Facebook, get dinged for art that has nipples, but there's there's certain cosplayers
they have community guidelines.
Yeah, no, but there's certain cosplayers does the same thing and doesn't get dinged for it. You know what I mean? So art and you know what I mean? And
I mean, they probably end up getting dinged for it later. It just depends on who reports it.
Right.
You know, that's the other thing too. Is you have people out there that will report on other people if they see something that they think is against community guidelines.
Yeah, but my thing is,
for example, I'm on Facebook.
Look at the puppy.
Yeah.
Sorry, had to say that.
I'll be on Facebook. Yeah. Perfect example. I was on Facebook earlier today, and a dude shared a video, and this video was posted on a Facebook page, a like page, a business page, basically, where you see a blonde topless girl in Miami, broad daylight, out in the street, fighting a couple black ladies, you know, and so here, she's topless, you see everything, so it's like normally videos like this, they get flagged, they get shut down, they get, turned away. However, there are specific people,
right,
that, and I'm going to say mostly men, they're like, I'm not going to report this. I want to keep seeing this video, I enjoy the video, and so like that's the thing is like there will be people like maybe older people, maybe women, maybe uptight people. I don't know, But some people, when they see certain videos like that,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's video, whether it's an image, whether it's a picture, they see something like that.
Right.
They, for some reason, like from their point of view, their moral standpoint, they're going to say, well, this is against policies, and like nobody should, this shouldn't even be up, and they're going to report it themselves, because Facebook doesn't catch everything,
Right.
And then when they do eventually catch it, it could be a week from now, it could be 2 weeks from now, it just depends. It depends on who's working it, how they come across it.
Right.
If a bunch of people are liking it and sharing it, it's going to get a bunch of hits.
Right.
So somebody from Facebook might like check out the video and say, okay, why is everyone sharing this video? Oh, we have this naked lady fighting other ladies. So
hey, look, Conan Princess, or Princess Conan, like how Vigilante likes to call, or like how
we both have nicknames now, Vigilante.
Yeah.
In the same boat.
Yeah.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, getting back to I'm waiting for Tim to come back.
Here he is.
Okay.
Here he is.
So the answer to the question, Randall, was what? What was your interpretation? You were talking about, you went into video.
Right. Well, because I was mainly piggybacking on what Jeff was saying about, when, you share a comic book and it shows nipples and it gets taken down, but like there'll be a model, and I was just basically merely saying that, yeah, maybe she doesn't get taken down now, but maybe eventually she will. It just depends on the audience. It depends on the people.
Yeah, but the big thing
it also depends on whether or not the comic book is copyrighted in some way. You're only allowed to show a certain portion of a comic book on YouTube.
Yeah,
you can only show so many pages before you get a copyright strike.
How Carla and them,
one at a time.
Yeah, how Carla was how Carla was how they were talking was they'll show off one of their covers, and their cover would get dinged before the model would get dinged. You know what I mean? But and the model would have the same followers they would, and then they would get dinged before the model would. It's art. You know what I mean? And sometimes they'll cover it up, and they'll still get dinged for it.
It could be AI.
Let me answer that question.
Yeah.
Sorry,
You're good. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, anyways, I was gonna say it could be an AI, an algorithm that sees that and then dings it right away.
Uh-huh.
So, but anyways, my opinion is,
I'm gonna give you my opinion when you guys are done.
Yeah, we know. My opinion is that I personally don't care. I personally don't care, like with censorship. It's great to see everything. I respect that if a company that has their own rules that says, hey, this shouldn't be shown because these are our rules, I respect that as well. Like I'm not mad at them for them doing what they say that they're going to do. That's their prerogatives. We are on their platform, so they can do whatever they want. If I had my own platform, and I could do whatever I want on that platform, it would be uncensored. And I would say, listen, you put like little warning labels, like, hey, you may see this, you may see that. Kids, maybe this isn't a good platform for kids to be jumping on. There's so many people with so many different opinions. But overall, if I had my own platform, I wouldn't censor it.
Right. Okay, your answer, and then what's Tim? What's your point of view of this topic
on censorship? Okay,
yeah,
here's my point of view on artistic censorship. And let's not forget, and of course, there's always. And
he nailed it. Word for word, he nailed it.
Yeah.
And there's where we are.
Tim had me right when he was saying.
Exactly.
Right there, he had me right there.
Yeah.
I believe that here in the United States, even though we have freedom of speech, a lot of people get confused because we do not have freedom of expression. Freedom of expression is not a right. It's not a God-given right. We're all allowed to have freedom of speech, but we can't express ourselves. There's a lot of things that are happening in this world right now where people are expressing themselves. Some stuff is considered art. Some stuff is considered graffiti. Some stuff, and really and truly, all of it is breaking the law. I'm not a follow, obey the law kind of guy. That's not me, but it's the absolute truth. Some things are protected and some things aren't. When it comes to art, well, I mean, what's art? Is showing a naked 4-year-old art? No, but you got a father who will be proud of his daughter and put her on YouTube. You see what I'm saying? I'm just saying, some people will find that offensive and others will just go, oh, you have a beautiful daughter, or, oh, that's such a cute kid. It's all about perspective, and like Randall said, people are going to either report them or ignore them. And really and truly, that's where it lies. You're relying on other people's feelings about how you're expressing yourself artistically. That's just how it is.
And
we got to deal with it.
Exactly.
All right, Robert.
Jimmy, we run out all the time. And the next sentence.
No. All right. It's the Godfather's.
What I was going to say.
Yeah, it's the Godfather's turn to talk.
Tim got that. Yeah, that was perfect.
Yeah.
But we also have artistic forms of expression, and a lot of people that I've commissioned stuff from, I always tell them I don't want them to copy, like I don't want them to make me like a comic book. I don't want them to copy this book exactly. I want to see this put in their own interpretation of what it would be. You know what I mean?
Their art style, right?
And it's like an example of that. I know I've showed this a billion times, but I'm proud of it.
Well, you haven't showed it on here yet, so
yeah, it's Art Chemist's work, and Jim Boatwright. He even does some good stuff. He did the Silver Surfer up here in his own image, right there. That one's done by California Blend up there on the top. Another one done by John Hoffman, and we got Jim Boatwright. But I mean, look, freedom of expression. He did that in his own image.
And that one glows, and he did the glow in the dark paint for that one too.
Let's do that. I'll try to get it.
Yeah, got you.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. But even Jim, we can't fit Jim. But that's my interpretation. I like to give them freedom to do what they want. You can take me down, buddy. It's okay.
Yeah, I got you. Yep. I just wanted you to show that off.
But I mean, all that up there, that's all art that's been done from people that sent me in stuff. I mean, that there is Lady Fantastic. She wrote that on a cardboard box. When I bought a box from her, she sent that to me. I always keep people's art, and I love it. I mean, even this, there's original artwork over, there.
Yep.
That's from a couple Morbius swipes, but it's real art. I like to have the artists do their own free will of what they want, what they see in their mind. And unfortunately, this has been going on for eons. Let's think about it for a moment. Even, nudity and everything else. Yeah. What is the word I'm looking for? Personal integrity. What is that? Personal integrity, and what is it? Now, when you're talking about downright, literally porn, dirty stuff, that's a very sensitive subject with people,
and there is a market for it.
Yeah, there is. My daughter, as an example, one of my daughters, she does animation art, and she does computer animation, and she done like personal requests. She does images for people, whatever they want. Most of it's animation. And this one guy, she's like, "Dad, you'll never guess." I go, "I probably wouldn't be surprised. I hope you charged him an arm and a leg for it." She goes, "Oh yeah, I did. You got $200 for the print." I go, "What was it?" She goes, "Here it was," and it showed this Japanese animation woman's face with the big eyes, the big blue eyes, body, voluptuous, on a chicken body. Kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like half female body, half chicken.
Half chicken. That's exactly.
Okay, so from the waist down, like chicken, and then from the waist up, big boobs, face, all that stuff.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting. She gets really weird requests once in a while.
I picture the guy.
I totally agree with you guys. What's that?
I was gonna say, I picture the guy framing that, putting it on the wall, and just eating a bucket of chicken as he's like admiring the the image.
But hopefully that helps, especially our brother from overseas. He's in the chat. Vigilante buddy. If that wasn't adequate enough, I don't know. We have to realize something too, that overseas censorship is a little bit different than it is in the States.
Yeah,
it really is. They're a little bit more loosely,
Well, hold on. Austria, they censored Captain America comics back then. Remember, he told us about the Captain America comic where they.
Oh yeah.
I know why. I'm just saying, but that's
propaganda.
So yeah.
Foreign comics to me are very interesting because I love the fact that I think it was Mexico.
Yeah.
They like when Gwen Stacy died in the Spider-Man comics. They weren't happy about it. They're like, we still want to keep making Spider-Man comics, but with Gwen Stacy. And Marvel gave permission for them to do that. So there are Mexican Spider-Man comics, original stories with Gwen Stacy that go on, not printed in the U.S. They were made in Mexico. It'd be cool if like Marvel got a hold of it and was able to reprint those and then put it in English. Maybe put it in a trade or like a collected edition. That'd be kind of cool. But
what's funny is that Vigilante has something similar. Gave us a preview of something similar to that. You remember? Red Sonja is supposed to be red hair. You remember that? We're supposed to be red hair, but they only got the black and whites. The overseas guys only got it black and white, and they didn't know she was a redhead. So they made her a blonde. It was pretty funny because you would see early Red Sonja, and she's the blonde in all the French ones. All the French comics, she's a blonde. See?
Well, in defense of that, strawberry blonde is more blonde than red, but it's still considered red. Now, let me hear something for you to think about. I can walk into any Barnes & Noble in the United States, and this is a store. This is a corporate store. And in that corporate store, they will have adult magazines behind the counter like Playboy, Penthouse, or whatever. But I can walk somewhere else in that store and go to the manga section where I can see drawn pictures of what looks to be preteen boys and girls drawn completely naked. And at the same time, I could walk to another department in that store and I could read a story that is so graphic in nature that it outclasses both of those. And then I could go to another part of that store and crack open a book from David Bowie's autobiography, and he shows pictures in there of naked women.
Yep.
There is no. We really don't have a standard in the United States. It's just there are people who find things offensive, and that's sad.
Well, it's also about intentions, right? So it's like you have a magazine that intentionally, like we're all about showing naked women. That's our purpose. That's our whole goal. That's why this is censored. And then you have somebody who's like, well, I appreciate the art form of the woman's body. So like these are beautiful pictures. This is artistic, So like it's I think all about intentions.
See, the Vigilante just mentioned about adult magazines. They have them right there at the counter. So yeah. Say some countries it's different. When you travel overseas, which I have noticed so much more freedom. I mean, in Russia, there's certain parts of Russia where you can go to a park and just be nude. Nudists are very welcome in Russia. I told everybody the story of what happened to me when I worked at Busch Gardens with the Russian acrobats. I was the stage manager at Stanleyville Theater. And one time I was inside the theater. I was getting ready for the show, and I get a phone call. And it's my boss. And he goes, Tim? And I go, yeah, Alan, what you need? And he's like, where are the Russians? And I'm like, I guess they're out back in their dressing rooms. And he goes, no, I don't think so. He goes, I think they're on the roof. And I'm like, what do you mean they're on the roof? And he goes, well, we're getting calls from people saying that there's naked people on your roof. And sure enough, I go out there, and all the Russians from the age of 7 years old all the way to the age of 70, they were on the roof walking around butt-ass naked, and there was a big old crowd just laughing and pointing fingers, and they just didn't get it. They didn't understand. They were like, what's wrong? I had to explain to them it's just something that's not something we do in this country.
It's not normal.
We're so concealed behind our faith and religious beliefs that we think that it's nasty or we think that it's repulsive. Yeah. And I don't want to say religious beliefs because you know what? It's not always
ever since Adam took
religion.
no, ever since Eve took the bite out of the apple.
Right? Right? You know?
Now
You know,
that
I don't want to really go there because
is a story in itself. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Like I said, the Godfather has spoken, and that's it. That's the topic's done.
look, I just want a world where Batman, okay, can have a friendship with, you know, the Wizard of Oz Tin Man. You know, if you can get Batman and the Tin Man together, okay, this world will be a better place. Okay, these are the original Migos.
Doesn't Warner Brothers have the rights to Wizard of Oz? I mean, technically, Wizard of Oz itself is an open property, but
right,
the actual movie itself.
That's the original emblem. Those are the original gloves. Those are the original boots. This is 100% original Batman Migo. You will not find that in a lot of places.
Is that a Migo doll?
That is a Migo.
Yeah, nice. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
They're both Migos. This is the Wizard of Oz Migo. These were very easy to get, by the way, the Wizard of Oz ones. That's why you can still find them on eBay for like $40. He's a role I've yet to acquire. One of these days, I will be the Tin Man in a play. That and Willy Wonka. I haven't done Willy Wonka yet either.
That'd be kind of cool to see you as Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
No,
I'd be a dark Willy Wonka.
No, but what we need to do is have one of the people in the community draw you on a shark as Willy Wonka. That'd be funny.
Hey, there you go. I have a lot of stuff here, and I just can't see. For some reason, I stumbled across this older box. This is pretty cool. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that.
I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, hope that answered your question, Vigilante.
Oh, what is this?
Yeah,
Great American Hero? No, what is this?
That is a Greatest American Hero. This was an exclusive at the FX show here in Tampa back in the day. This is number 363. I believe there was 1,000 of these made, or funny. Maybe even 500. But this is a official Migo. This was on the old Migo card that never got to see production. And let me see. Hold on. Yeah, that's William Catt. Believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's got a beautiful back of the card there that explains who William Catt is.
Really?
And the Greatest American Hero. And,
I still have to watch the TV show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a pretty rare piece. Last time I checked, this was going for like $500-600.
You're kidding me.
Nope. And then there's a variant. There's one where he's dressed in his civilian clothes, and it has his uniform underneath, and that one just comes with an extra pair of clothes. I think it was like, at the time, it was like $40 more, and I just didn't opt to get that one. And that one's actually a little bit more expensive because I think there was only like 200. So I think there was like 800 of these, and I think 200 of the other one, if I remember correctly. I think that's where it was at. But yeah, I never took it out. He's got a really good likeness, if you can see his face.
Yeah, I can actually see him a little bit.
I always remember the actor. There was a sitcom, right, back in the 90s.
Right.
It starred what was his name? Farrah Fawcett, and who was the guy that she was married to? O'Neill.
Farrah Fawcett was married to Lee Majors.
Lee Majors, $6 Million Man.
But then she dated a guy with last name O'Neill, right? I
think so.
Actor.
Ryan O'Neill.
O'Neill. So they both did a TV show. They did a sitcom together, and it's called Sports Talk or something like that. They were sportscasters. And William Catt played as the boyfriend of Farrah Fawcett, and Ryan O'Neill played as like the ex-boyfriend or a coworker, and then they got romantically involved. And William Catt became like this crazy, insane ex-boyfriend. At the end of the show, like literally pulls a gun out and holds the whole studio hostage. and the great he played. Gosh, I'm horrible with names today. He played from Lois and Clark. He played Chief. He played
The actor that played like Elvis and played it for.
yeah. Who's the guy who runs the Daily Planet? Perry White.
Perry White. Oh yeah, there you go.
Lane Smith, who played Perry White. Lane Smith was on this sitcom along with from Ghostbusters.
Right on.
Ghostbusters. Who's the main guy? Bill Murray. Bill Murray, right? Bill Murray's brother, Brian Doyle Murray, was on this sitcom. Played the assistant to Lane Smith. Murray. Yeah. My parents, my dad and my brother, they were both like really like their hobby was sports, and so here's a sitcom about sports, like sportscasters, you know. And so they had like recorded the series on VHS tape, and so I remember as a kid I would watch it, and not knowing who these people really were, but like I recognizing their faces, and so that's what I remember William Pat from. I remember him from this sitcom that nobody's probably ever heard of or seen or even talk about, you know. Very much. Well, actually, no. I take that back. I was about to say very much like Greatest American Hero, but there's still tons of people that talk about Greatest American Hero, about how great that show was, you know, which is streaming for free on the Peacock streaming network.
You know what other show was really great and it only lasted 2 seasons? He was my hero. That would be Grizzly Adams.
Hold on.
Nice. I remember that. That was awesome. That was a great show.
The original Mattel Grizzly Adams doll. Grizzly Adams is a great dude. These youngsters that on this show, they probably don't know who this guy is, but Grizzly Adams was a great man. So,
yeah.
But, you know, since you mentioned him, I might as well show you, Lee Majors.
And there's a little hole back there you can see through his eye, right?
Yep. This is the original. This is still mint in the package.
That's beautiful.
Never been folded over. This is a $6 million man doll. Colonel Steve Rogers. Awesome. This originally sold for, you'll never believe it,
$30.
It's originally sold for $3.95.
$3.48.
Wow, I was close.
We should have had the chat
guess.
Crazy. the next one you bring up, we should have the chat guess the price, the old school price.
We can turn it into a game show.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them what we've won here, Tim. What have we won?
Well, for those of you who are watching, you can always tune in and you can grab yourself.
Is that
the Lone Ranger?
Oh, that's awesome. You got Tonto too?
Yeah, this one's never been removed from the package. Never been folded over. This is from Gabriel.
How much
this came out in 73, 72.
Nice.
Yep. Beautiful Lone Ranger selection. The artwork on the box is freaking amazing.
Yep. That rare blue.
Yeah, with that beautiful blue.
Yep.
He's never been removed. He's still in the baggie on the inside. I had to cut the tape just to make sure he was in the box. I didn't want to bring a box home and not have the the figure in it. So, but at least he's never been out of the baggie.
That's good.
Could be like some stuffed socks in there, you know?
Yeah. I've got all kinds of stuff. I've been finding some weird stuff, so I thought I'd share it all with you.
That's cool.
Is it mostly toys? I know this is a comic book show.
No, it's the comics, toys, everything, man. It's everything show. It's a little bit of everything.
Do me a favor and don't call the police on me, especially this tough woman. This is Police Woman, played by.
No friggin' way! Are you serious, dude?
Yeah.
I watched that show.
This is Angie Dickinson's doll.
Yeah, that's hilarious. You gotta be.
Still on the card here, just beautiful shape. As you can tell, I've got them wrapped in plastic. Just it's got a little bit of a fold right here at the very bottom, but other than that,
would you send your figures in to get graded?
Oh yes, absolutely. I would send them to get graded. I think these things like this one here, this was made by a company called Horseman, which has been gone for decades. And they made another doll. They made the Kojak doll. Who loves you, baby? And hard to find the Kojak doll with all his lollipops.
Yeah, exactly. And also around the same time too, wasn't Beretta? Beretta was around the same time too playing.
You know, Beretta never had a doll, but Beretta was a good show, and it was around the same time. Another top show that I really like. You know, we got Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know, and of course,
did they make any Munsters?
Wherever Starsky goes, you got to have Hutch.
Nice.
So you can't have one or the other. You know, these are all old Migos from. Let's see if there's a date on this one. Still no date, but these have got to be early 70s. They're beautiful, man. Look at that card. Look at that card. Can you see the card?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Flawless.
Yep. It is a beautiful, beautiful card. These rarely got played with. I don't know why my childhood was so strange. I never played with my toys.
You're a collector. That's what it was, man. You've always been a collector.
Here's something you guys would appreciate.
Oh boy.
There was an Ideal toy, and this is actually a comic. This was an Ideal toy called Star Team. And they were based off of the old Zeroids from the 1960s. And with every purchase of a Zeroid, you would get a comic book. And this was the mini Star Team. There's two of them here. I've got them both in the bag.
Nice.
By beautiful, beautiful art by none other than Dick Giordano.
Wow.
Oh, the legend.
Mm-hmm.
So,
that's really cool.
Yeah, and of course, if you've got two, you might as well get two more and get a total of four.
Nice.
So, you know, I got four copies of this particular issue. I bought them all on eBay. I didn't even know what they were. I thought that was amazing. And this is a Marvel Comics group comic book. See the Spidey in the corner there?
Yeah.
That's really neat.
Yep. And this is from Ideal. There was one other comic book that Ideal did, and that was with Evel Knievel, and that's in a different box.
Love when I was growing up.
So I just wish censorship would go away. How about that? No more censorship.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that if we got rid of censorship, there'd be more angry people or less angry people?
More angry people, I think.
Well, listen, I said this a while ago, but I tried to get the original Sesame Street that I grew up with. It's now rated PG-13. Sesame Street. Sesame Street.
Yeah.
They're running out of things to talk about. It's like we got to go edgy.
Jim
we
Henson is rolling in his grave.
What's that?
They're like these 5-7-year-old kids. They're watching YouTube, watching porn on the internet. We got to bring something in. PG-13.
Hey, Steve-O's in the house.
Steve's in the chat. Our boy Steve.
Hey. Right on.
Yep.
What's up, Steve?
So, yeah. Oh, I didn't tell you guys about that Facebook group I was with. That comic book Facebook group I was with. Because, you know, I have these pictures hanging up. Yeah. So you remember I told you this. I told you this, Rendo, the first time when we did the show together.
Yeah. They kicked you out or whatever because you had like
butts all on the back. Yeah.
Groups like that, you know, it sucks. Like sometimes they just what it is being part of like several other groups before, you know, there's going to be a bias. You know, there's going to be people who run the groups and they want to run it almost like a club. You know, the minute they see somebody they don't like, they don't care if they did anything right or wrong. They're like, oh, I want them out of the group. You know, And I hate when they do that because you're not treating everyone the same. You're not treating everyone fairly, you know. So I've always been like, it's so funny too because they used to argue with me. They're like, you don't even know this person. Why are you standing up for them? Why are you defending them? You know, like we're your friends. You should be on our side, but you're fighting us over a stranger. You know, and I think they couldn't quite grasp or understand that it's not about that. It's about the principle. You know, it's about like literally treating everyone equally, and you're not doing that. You know, this guy said something you didn't like, and you want to kick him out. You know, and it's like he didn't break any rules. You know, you just don't. You know, so like, you know, I'm not really part of that group anymore. Just I got tired of fighting and arguing with them.
Well, they didn't even fight with me. They just kicked me right out.
Oh, yeah, they didn't even bother to talk to you. Yeah, that's another thing that I hate.
No, they did. They sent me a private message and said, "Oh yeah, I sent you a private message." And I look at the private message; it wasn't sent until 2 days after.
Oh, it was sent 2 days after that they kicked you out.
Yeah.
That's just them covering their ass, but no, it's still wrong.
Yeah.
What you got there? Oh, it's a puppy dog still.
Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Wave. There you go.
Oh, so cute.
So I went to GameStop the other day.
Yeah. What'd you pick up?
I pick this up right here.
Hold on.
I always like to buy things on clearance.
House.
Yeah. Hey, John.
Nice.
So this is nice.
Cool.
This lights up.
Oh, that's that's
Oh, that's nice.
That's nice.
Yeah. Jim Lee. This is normally like $25, and I look at it and I'm like, I really don't want to pay $25 for something like this. Thankfully, it was like 50% off, so I was like, okay, I'll buy it for that. You know, like $12.50, $13 or whatever.
Right.
It's pretty cool. I like Jim Lee, and I like little things to kind of like decorate and put in the office.
Say hi.
I'm running out.
To the girls. I know these girls are watching. There you go. Say hi to the girls. Say hi.
Hey, Tim, show off the Migos again. I know John would love to see some of those Migos again. Hey, John, check this out.
Here's a little trivia for you guys. Way before Star Wars action figures were carried by Kenner. Kenner, of course, was in the toy business for a couple of years. This is one of the earliest toys that Kenner ever produced back in 1974. They've got a different kind of license. You know, Star Wars license, you can't always get the Star Wars license. So they actually got the license to the official Boy Scouts. So they made a doll for the Boy Scouts. And as you can see, you've got that wonderful Kenner logo.
Yeah.
It's like Steve.
Yep, this is Steve the Scout, and these were very hard to find, believe it or not. This one's got a couple of dings to it, but believe it or not, I believe this, when I was a kid, was one of my first action figures. I would have been 4 years old, and I think this was one of the first action figures that I ever owned, and I love Steve the Scout. And believe it or not, they came... there was an African-American Steve. I think his name was Rick. I think his name was Rick. And they came with all kinds of really cool adventures. And the funny thing is, if you look at them,
Did a Kmart sticker on top of the box? I see like a yellow sticker on top of the box.
Kmart sticker on top of the box. You want to see what it was paid for? You want to see what it went for? I don't know if you can see it.
No, it's faded. Yeah, it's really faded too.
$1.27.
What? I wouldn't mind paying up $1.27 for a damn figure.
Yep, $1.27. There you go.
Yeah, we paid. No, but I'll trust you.
Back when you could get a Coke for 25 cents.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. And it also has this sticker right here that says it's half off.
So it's 50 cents.
Half off sticker here, $1.27 right there, half off. So what's half of $1.27?
62 cents.
62 cents.
You know what? I can't even do the math. I'm going to need help here. You know who I need help to do the math with?
Oh boy.
I'm going to need the mechanical brain and of course the pulsating heart of Pulsar.
That's cool.
I knew John would probably enjoy these too.
Yeah. Now this Pulsar was cool because when you flip it around, you could actually take his shirt off, and he has a little motion on the back where his lungs fill up with air and his heart beats. And this is a mint condition, still in the box with that. Look at that beautiful box. This is a beautiful, beautiful sample.
Wow.
Did you pay a buck for it again? Did you pay $1 for that?
No, I think he was more along the lines of like a $9 or $8 figure because he was so big. I mean, I have to go way back here. You can see how tall he is. I think he's a good 10 to 12 inches. Super hard to find, especially with all of his brain discs. His face lifts up, and they have these little discs that you can put in for his computer reading technology.
I remember those. I remember seeing them before when I was younger.
Right,
like in the flea markets and stuff.
Yep. And well, just to show you what those Zeroids were about, the Star Team. You know, I can't just go around just with the comic book. I have to actually get the little Star Team robot. This was an R2-D2 ripoff. This came out in 1977, so technically,
he's the original R2.
And if you look on the back, you've got this little spaceship that he comes in, because you can get the spaceship too, which I have in the closet. Then you've got the Dark Lord. Boy, that looks strangely familiar.
Yeah.
And then you've got a C-3PO character right here, which is called Zem 21. Yeah. Zem 21. Sometimes hard to find, but I grabbed mine right here. But this was an after purchase because my Zem 21 got opened, and this one here is the German Zem 21. See,
cool.
This is all the way from Germany.
Yeah, so it comes from where Vigilante's from.
There you go. Yeah, there's our German friends. Here's a nice German toy, all the way from '77. So you're not going to find these in Germany anymore.
Oh no.
Yeah. I'm sure Germany's got a lot of cool toys, though. I wish I can go there. My son's, he's in Stuttgart right now, so hello to Stuttgart, Germany.
Nice.
How did you get in here? You shouldn't be in here. What the hell are you doing in here? You know, every once in a while when you go through a box of toys, there's always somebody who believes they have to move in. And you know what? Sometimes we really hate it when you get unsuspected visitors coming into the house and having to stay overnight.
Oh,
damn visitors.
Awesome.
Starring Beastmaster.
Yes. I don't know if you guys remember the V movie that was on TV. But yeah, they turned out to be reptilian.
Yep.
There you go.
Let's have the chat guess how much you paid for it.
This one, I believe I bought at a Star Trek convention, and I believe I paid somewhere in the vicinity of $40 for it. And I was going to get Richard Hurd to sign it because that's his likeness right there. That's Richard Hurd's likeness. He was one of the villains, but I ended up getting an 8x10, and I figured that if I ever, wanted to get his stuff framed, I'd make a little diorama out of it. But yeah, so I hate it when visitors just pop up out of everywhere.
Well, there's one visitor that I think we can all agree that we enjoy seeing. And I have him right here.
Oh,
the People's Champion. The People's Champion.
There you go. It's
what?
Superman.
Superman's good too, isn't he? You love Superman, right?
Yeah, he's the one that loves the blue Superman, the blue light.
Yeah, this is the McFarlane, the Jim Lee Superman, the Action Comics 1000, but from McFarlane.
Cool.
It's cool. It's got a little stand there, so it looks like he's like kind of like just floating.
Yep, that's cool.
Not bad. Like I like the articulation. It was $20. Really, it's one of the best Superman figures I've ever had. I like it.
It's nice looking. Really good.
I was over at a GameStop
right?
And they had the animated series Superman, but they always like to sell their figures a few dollars more than like Target, so like Target will sell it for $20, but GameStop will sell it for like $25 or $26. And it's like I was like, as much as I love Superman, I'm like, I can always get that later. This I'd like to show off here. Came in damaged on the box, but that's okay because my goal is to open it up anyways, and I have to figure out where I'm gonna put it because I seriously need to just start putting shells in here.
Uh-huh.
I know that feeling.
Cool. Now that's cool. By the way, has anybody seen that? Did you get that at Walmart?
That's the Marvel. That's the Marvel Select.
Okay, they have them. They have two figures, the Iron Giant. I almost bought it the other day. Not Iron Giant, but it was Robbie the robot.
Yep.
Full size. It was so cool. I almost bought it because he made all the sounds, and he made the sound from Forbidden Planet, the movie. It was pretty cool.
And they're only $20.
Yeah,
Rob, they're $20.
Yeah, it's so cool looking.
Randall, how much was that Marvel Select?
Shoot.
I think it's a $30 figure, right?
I think so. Yeah, that's the suggested.
$29.99.
Really nice.
I like that one because it comes with the Superman, the S that he pulls off.
Yeah,
Superman.
I like that it's got like the little kid. You can put the little kid on his shoulder.
Yeah, that one's a nice one, Randall. That's a nice pickup.
Yeah, one of my customers wanted to order one, so I ordered one. And when I saw it, I was like, I gotta get one for myself too.
Yeah, of course.
Do you have anything from San Diego Comic-Con coming in this week for you?
No. I'm tightening the belt with the money right now.
Oh, gotcha.
Smart guy.
It would be
smart guy now.
Yeah, it would be nice to get you could always get it later. Like right now, I'm focused on paying off bills, and then my real goal, hopefully, I doubt I'll be able to do it this year, unless of course I get like a really good paying job in the next couple months. But if not this year, definitely for sure next year, I will have my own exclusive variant through DC Comics. That is the plan.
Williams in the chat.
So I'm sure it's going to cost me somewhere around $6,000 to $7,000. So somewhere in that range, between $6,000 and $7,000. The real question is, what book? What book will I be doing a variant of, and what will the variant be? So I don't know. I'm excited.
I already think I already know. You're gonna end up doing a Superman book, and it's gonna be the blue lightning Superman. I already know how you are. So that
I can't do blue lightning Superman yet. I can't do blue. I can't do electrical blue Superman yet. But next part, it will be a Superman book. I have one particular idea that I want to do, but I have to get permission from DC to do it. Yeah. If DC gives me permission to do it, let me tell you something. It'll be a game changer. It'll be a game changer for collectors. So you'll just have to wait. You have to wait.
So community, be on the lookout for it. Guys, I'm telling the community to be on the lookout for it.
This is for people who like to collect numbering. Don't you hate it when a book cancels and restarts at number 1? Don't you wish that number 1 was still the original number that it should have been? So if I'm lucky, maybe DC gives me permission to say, you can make your own variant, and we will put the original numbering that you want on the book. Maybe. There's always a chance that they say, no, that's not going to fly. We're not going to do that. Sorry. And I'm like, okay, at least I tried. So, but
Randall, if they don't, you know what you could always do? Something that I know you love, because I watch you get them all the time. I know you like to travel and grab a couple of quarter pounders and some fries over at McDonald's. McDonald's is always a great place.
He's creepy, man. That one's actually a creepy one.
Look at his face on McDonald's.
Yeah.
Really?
Not only that, look at the box one, man. The box one's even more freaking than the one in the.
That must have been inspiration. Like I guarantee you, Stephen King saw that action figure and was like, "I've got something. I don't know what it is yet."
That's right. He's
like, I know what it is. It is it.
Wow, that whole playground thing, unbelievable.
That's a nice carded figure from 1976, and it's from Remco.
Yep.
Yes, Remco, Ronald McDonald, unpunched.
Oh, okay.
You know, if McDonald's was smart, they would do like a fun like McDonald's zombies comic book, where you just see like all the characters are like zombies and they're like, and then you get like Bruce Campbell playing as himself, going into a McDonald's just trying to get some food, and he's like, "Son of a bitch." It's fucking just like shooting up like all the characters from McDonald's.
Well, you know, when I was younger, I used to watch a lot of TV, and I had this show that I used to watch called it was Battle of the Network Stars. I used to love that show, and it used to have all the networks, you know, all three of them, NBC, CBS, and ABC, and they would get their celebrities together, and they would actually have some sort of sporting event in which they battled, whether it was swimming, wrestling, or tug of war, an obstacle course, which Scott Baio was a badass at the obstacle course. His record's never been broken to this day. But there was one young lady that I admired and I had a super crush on. That is, of course, until she made a movie called Little Women. I'm sorry, Pretty Little Women. No, Pretty Women.
Brooke Shields, or are you talking about?
You're probably thinking of Little House on the Prairie.
Nope.
No, not Brooke Shields. Brooke Shields, no.
We've got
Nick,
Christy
I knew you were going
McNichol.
to say her. Christy McNichol. I used to have a crush on her when I was a kid too. That's
Wait,
hilarious.
Christy McNichol, wasn't she on?
That's hilarious.
Wasn't she on? Mary
She's
with
on
Children?
Empty Nest. That's probably what you guys remember her on. That's the last show she really.
Yes.
It was a spinoff from Golden Girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Christy was my original crush. As a matter of fact, this is the reason why to this day I still have crushes on brunettes. That is, of course, until, like I said, her friend came along, and she was in a blockbuster film of young women growing up, and it was Tatum O'Neal.
That's who it was.
And this was her film that she was famous in. This is National or International Velvet. This was the sequel to National Velvet, where she plays the young woman who, of course, is a young girl growing up, and she's an equestrian. And this is probably the most feminine figure I have in my entire collection because it's girls and horses.
That looks nothing like Matthew's Bears.
No.
Yep. Yep.
It looks like a Barbie more than anything. It looks like Barbie before Barbie.
Yep, yeah, it's more of a Barbie. The Christy McNichols actually is a that's a Mego. That's from Mego. You can see the Mego M right there.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
This one here, this is another piece from Kenner. So we've got a nice, beautiful Kenner doll still in the package from 1978. This is post Star Wars.
A lot of our boys are age.
Bearded Comics. What's up, brother? Mm-hmm.
What's up,
a lot of boys like Christy McNichol growing up because she was a tomboy.
Yeah, right.
Yep, she was a tomboy.
Shout out to William Rollis. What's up, man?
Yeah. Yeah, what's up to Bearded Comics, brother? Bro, my bad. I like to break on it, everything, brother.
Tim is just showing off his threesome of figures there.
Yeah, he's showing off his childhood crushes pretty much.
It's like, no, Tim, don't. I'm not ready. I'm not ready to be unboxed.
I've got action figures. And my heroes, because no young man should not go without being inspired by a hero. And my real hero
is G.I. Joe.
Horshack from Welcome Back, Carter.
I remember Welcome Back, Carter too. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mr. Cutter.
Yeah. Exactly.
And this was a rarer version. This was a bagged version that came with a play set. Still has his little Sweat Hogs decal on him right there. Look at that nail. Look at that. Ooh, yeah. Getting ready for Halloween, guys. Getting ready for Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of a weird thing. That was weird. Say goodbye to Grizzly Adams. Bye, Grizzly.
Cool.
Who we saying bye to next?
I might keep Christy McNichol out and have her displayed. I'm a perv.
Yeah. William Sorolis.
Actually, I did get a chance to meet a couple of the people that really did inspire me. No joking. There was a couple people that, as a costume character, as a performer, one of my first, other than Godzilla, was Ultraman.
Yep.
And I used to love Ultraman, and this is the Bampesto Ultraman that comes with a nice little figure. Yeah. I
remember those.
Yeah. And I met Ben Ventura. He's the guy who actually played Ultraman. He was like one of my favorite like TV shows when I was growing up, and thought he was just super cool. Plus the things that he did in that hot suit. This was like made out of neoprene, like a dive suit.
Yep.
He got paid big bucks, man.
Got paid big bucks.
You know, he had to be sweating like a pig in it, though, man. Doing all that stuff.
I don't even have to work out.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there are other kinds of legends that most people don't talk about, legends that are just so odd and strange. However, this man is not only a legend, but he's done things that nobody ever thought was possible because of some of his accomplishments. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but there was a famous a politician whose child got kidnapped back in the 70s. And or was it Marlon Brando's son? It was Marlon Brando's son that got kidnapped. Or I can't remember the entire story, but you can look him up. He was very unique, and he tried breaking. He was like the #1 man on the CIA for quite a weird time, and he was very unique because he had no hands. He had no hands. He had hooks for hands. He actually made a guest appearance on an old Hawaii Five-0 episode where he played the villain. And his name was James Arms. I kid you not. He had no hands, and his name was James Arms, and it's spelled Armes. How weird is that? But he was such a hero and such an icon that Ideal got together with they call him JJ for short, so it's JJ Arms, and they made an actual figure of him, and you can see that you can take his hands off, and you can put all of his cool little hand gadgets, from his hooks to his specific gun to his samurai sword. And he even came along with his own little comic that came along with it. And he had his battle van right there, which was really cool. And that's also up in my closet. The cool part is that this is a real man. He actually has an investigation office in El Paso, Texas.
Really?
That's the only reason why I went to El Paso when my wife got into the Army and we were having some problems and we were trying to figure out whether we were going to stay married or get a divorce. And I said, well, let me go to El Paso with you and see if we can't mend things. And one of the reasons why I wanted to go to El Paso was so I can visit the JJ Arms. He has a fortress there. I kid you not. It's a fortress. He was the original Tiger King. He used to have Bengal tigers roaming freely on his property in El Paso, Texas.
Wow.
You can YouTube him, YouTube JJ Arms. And this guy was amazing, but he's like a national treasure that nobody even remembers. But he solved huge cases and was so popular that they actually made him into a doll.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey,
and,
look, one of these days they will, I'm sure, make a movie on him.
You know, they should, because he's one of those kind of characters that you can't tell whether or not he was full of shit or whether or not he was, the real deal. But he did work for, the CIA, and he did work undercover on a lot of things. And, he ended up opening up his own private investigating corporation after he did his big case, which I believe now that my head is clearing, I believe it was Marlon Brando's son went missing when he was a child. Yeah.
I just picture him like in the CIA office, and like he's just like real badass, like looking at everyone, telling them like, "This is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna do it." And then he had
he had no arms, so he had with his hooks.
It's nubs. And so, after he's done like talking to all the men, I feel like he had like an assistant that was like holding a cup of coffee, and so he like, "Give me the coffee," and he just like sip it. The guy holding it, and he's like sipping it. He's like, "All right, guys, now we need to get back to work."
Yep. I implore everyone out there on YouTube land to look him up. JJ Arms, spelled ARMES. It'll probably still pop up if you put the word just Arms, ARMS. But he was very eccentric, very much Tiger King-ish eccentric. Strange man in his old age, but when he was younger, he had all his faculties, and he was just amazing. And it's so cool to see him shoot a .45 with a hook.
So was he born with no hands, or he lost his hands?
He lost his hands at a very young age. He's one of those rare guys that got trained by Bruce Lee in the martial arts.
Oh,
wow. He was a total badass. I kid you not. He was like the original American spy. He was the kung fu marksman, ladies' man. He was a James Bond in real life, and it was just. And he's really weird. And in his older age, when he started opening up his compound and letting people come in and tour his compound, it got really strange. When I visited, it was a little run down because JJ Arms had already passed. Unfortunately, he had already passed away. And I got to see some of the old antiquities that was available. And it was just one of those things, and it was really cool. And it was just to see, a toy that I played with when I was like 9, to go and visit where it originated from was really, really, really interesting, really fun.
So did it have like the biography and all of the information on the toy, like behind the toy?
Yep. It's got some information on the toy. Let me see if I can see what it says here. The world's greatest investigator comes with his 7 biokinetic hands, each designed for a special function. Then it goes through all the hands. He's got a suction cup hand. I used to be able to hang him on the sliding glass door. Actually, it doesn't have really a lot of his biography on there. They kept it off of here. And this one was famous for the gold bullion caper, and I believe that was what they wanted in ransom. Was gold bullion.
Did he have like a specific like special villain?
Nope, never had a villain. There was 2 dolls. There was this doll, and then there was the truck, and that was it. There was no bad villains. There was no other dolls. It was just this doll and the truck. And the truck really is Evel Knievel's Rumble Van. That's all it is. It's just repurposed.
Do you think the family has like the rights to, like, let's say someone was like, I want to make an Adult Swim cartoon series based on this guy, and like, do you think the family would be like, huh?
Yeah, I'm sure they do. And I would think they'd be interested. If anything, I know JJ Arms himself would be interested because he was one of those, like I said, he was bigger than life. He was a really unique individual. He's also got his biography was written about out there, but that was like in the 80s. I think he passed away somewhere in the 90s or the early 2000s, or something like that. I can't remember. He might even be still alive. I don't know. But if he is, he's very old. But I'm sure he passed away.
What actor could you see like voicing, like if he like matches his voice or even matches his look? What actor could you compare him to his description of his fate?
If you listen to what he sounds like, probably someone like Ray Liotta.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Ray Liotta. He's
got that tough, yet you can hear he's kind of like from, like Brooklyn, even though his stuff is in El Paso, Texas, you would think that, he comes across very tough, like an old style gangster, Okay. So yeah, Ray Liotta pops to mind. Yeah, most definitely.
Well, gentlemen, I gotta go. Jeff, Love
See you later.
It was wonderful having you, loving you guys.
Yeah.
Loved
Yeah.
it.
See you later.
Tim, awesome.
Yeah.
Don't commit forest fires.
That was so cool.
Only you.
Very cool, buddy.
Yeah. See you later. What's in that bucket? What's in this
I
one?
don't know. There's a bunch of junk in here. I'm not sure what this crap is.
Mm.
I mean, I don't think that's worth anything.
Hold on.
Oh, Raiders, nice.
Raiders.
Dr. Jones. You really should have like maybe like custom made. You should have a sign, and it should just be Harrison Ford in a word bubble, and it just says it belongs in a museum. You know, because you have so many
Yep.
You have so many collectibles, man. Like I swear, Indiana Jones would say it belongs in a museum.
That is the original Harrison Ford Indiana Jones Lucasfilm Kenner 1982 Indiana Jones action figure, mint on card. I don't think he's worth anything though. This one's harder to get, even though the card's yellowed. That's Temple of Doom. That's the bigger figure. So you still got Indy there, still on the card.
Nice.
A better little image there. I like that image of Harrison Ford with his shirt ripped open, with his big old muscles. Yeah. This must be the Indy box. I must have broken into the Indiana Jones box. Oh, here's something you won't see. You know why you won't see it? Because it's custom. Because you know what?
Braveheart.
Got a Braveheart.
What? Why does it look like Gene Simmons figure?
It looks like Bruce Willis with hair.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Mel Gibson.
Oh, Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon. Yeah. It was a $20 custom.
That's cool. $20. It's rare that I see a $20 custom.
I found this in a mall, somewhere in was it? I can't remember if it was in El Paso, Texas, or if it was in Cape Cod. I think it was Cape Cod, but there was a mall somewhere in Boston, I think it was, and they had a bunch of little knickknacks. And for some reason, they had this little set of figures. I don't know if you can see those in there.
Yeah. Not really, but
yeah. It's the full set of Dune figures from the movie Dune.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, Dune. Okay.
Yep.
That's cool.
You can probably see Sting there.
Yeah.
The original Dune characters. There's Sting right there with his shirt off. Yeah. There's the Baron.
I will say that the new Dune movie, the remake, I think it's going to be. I like the director that's working on the film.
Yeah.
I think he's a superb director, and so I think it'll be interesting. I don't know if it'll do well, but it'll definitely be interesting, fun to watch. I enjoyed his Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, right on. Yeah.
But of course, I need to make sure I watch the original Dune before I watch.
Can't have Indiana Jones. You can't have Indiana Jones without Bullock.
Oh yeah.
The Ark of the Covenant is meant for everyone, Dr. Jones. We will harness the powers and become unstoppable. This was back in the day when you used to collect little points and you would get, figures mailed to you in the mail from Kenner.
Yeah. They don't do that no more.
I think it'd be cool. Like one of the memorable scenes I think in the original Indiana Jones film, Raiders of the Lost Ark, is when you see Indiana Jones fighting like the really big guy and the plane and the blades of the the engines are running, and like they're fighting, around the plane and underneath the plane, and like it'd be cool if there was like a toy set that could move. Yeah, the big guy.
Is that what you're talking about, Randall?
Yeah.
That's your big guy. He's known as the Mechanic, but he was played by a British wrestler named Pat Roach. This guy here was also in a very good movie that I loved with Val Kilmer, where Val Kilmer played Mad Mardigan. So if you ever watched, do you know that film?
Yeah.
Willow, there you go. He was the bad guy. He was the big Kurgan guy, the guy with the big mask. Yeah. So
that's cool.
Pat Roach was a nice man. He was a giant man, and he was a sweetheart of a man. And the funny thing is that he also played.
He played that guy too.
Yeah, the swordsman. So rarely do you ever find one actor playing two people, but they just put him in heavy makeup and had him move the sword. So I thought that was kind of funny.
No, what's funny is the blonde actor, the one that plays friends with Mad Mardigan, in Willow, he was also in Superman 3, where he played as the ex-boyfriend or whatever to Lana. It's kind of like the drunk. And then before that, he was in. I had finally started watching some of the Death Wish movies. So I want to say it was like Death Wish 3. He was like the villain in it. So it's funny to see, like, here's this guy that I've seen him in like maybe 2 movies, and like, oh look, I found another movie that he was in, and it's like he just has that familiar face, But for the longest time, I didn't realize that they were the same person, because I'd seen Superman 3 and I've seen Willow, and in Willow he's got like the beard and long hair, and he's kind of like like badass looking, and then in Superman 3 he's kind of like just this like bully, So it's just like, it's always fun to watch.
I love Willow. I think that was when I fell in love with Val Kilmer, because I thought he was fantastic in that film. I already liked him from Real Genius. I thought he was just brilliant in Real Genius, but when I saw him in Willow, I was like, yeah, that's a leading man.
I want to say Willow was probably the first Val Kilmer movie, either Willow or Top Gun. Like I know like Top Gun wasn't really his movie.
Right.
He was more of a supporting character, but still, it was like one of those 2 movies had to have been one of the first movies I watched as a kid with him in it. And very much loved Willow. The music in Willow is great. I have the soundtrack. Great directing by the legendary Here I am bad with names again.
What they Ron Howard. I mentioned Ron Howard.
Thank you. So like Ron Howard was like early in his directing days, he just, I love that they want to do, I think they're working on making a Willow television series for Disney Plus. So for Disney Plus. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope that they do it. Obviously, Val Kilmer is not in great shape now, especially with the cancer that he had, and can't really speak anymore, which is a shame.
Right.
And of course, many people remember him from
Batman. A lot of them, some people remember him from Batman more than anything, and the Lost Boys, Lost Boys, and Batman.
Val Kilmer wasn't in Lost Boys.
He wasn't. Oh, I'm thinking of somebody else. Oh yeah. See, I get those 2 guys mixed up every once in a while.
But speaking of Batman Forever, thank God for the release the Snyder Cut, because now there's more and more people talking about, there's a director's cut of this film, or there's a director's cut of that film. Sylvester Stallone recently said that there is a director's cut of Rocky IV that he hopes to plan the release within a year. So like, cool. It's awesome. Like, I hope that this becomes a new trend where they're just like, what? Let's just start releasing director's cuts, and there is a director's cut, a much longer film of Batman Forever. And then what's funny too is like not long after that, people started mentioning, hey, there's technically a director's cut for Superman 4. They said there's probably at least another 30 minutes to an hour of footage that originally was part of Superman 4, but because they did the test showing, the test showing didn't do so well that they cut it down to save money. So like I hope that this becomes a new trend. I hope that the Snyder cut does really, really well. And then because they're talking about also David Ayer saying that he had his cut of Suicide Squad that he wasn't able to really put together the way he wanted it, and he had to kind of just do what the studio wanted to do. And then the cool thing too was he said that he had met up with Snyder and he knew what was going to go on with Justice League, and so the whole idea of Suicide Squad was supposed to be like a lead into Justice League. So if David Ayer is allowed to do his cut will actually be lined up perfectly for the Justice League Snyder cut.
Oh, right.
So crossing fingers, hoping that happens,
Right.
I mean, I just love seeing all this extra footage of stuff, and then, like sometimes like I'm jealous of these actors, because these actors, they experience it all, they could sit there and they can tell you like, I did a scene doing this, saying this, and doing that, didn't make it in the movie, and then, just the experiences alone, especially like anybody who plays Batman, like riding in the Batmobile, like how many people really get to experience that? Like those experiences are just amazing. Yep. And I sometimes just think about it and I'm like, man, it'd be so awesome, even just to be on the set and just to see it happen. Mm-hmm. And then like I have something that millions of people will never know about or hear about, unless of course I go on social media and I talk about it. So like even just being there for bloopers. I was watching a little bit of X-Men Apocalypse earlier today, which is now on Disney Plus, and I decided to look up the bloopers. There's some pretty funny bloopers for that movie.
But the Ivanhoe's looking.
Oh yeah, the horrible. But you know what? There's a really great part in that movie where I love when Professor X is getting his ass kicked by Apocalypse. He tells Apocalypse like, "You're going to lose." He's like, "Because you are alone, and I am not." And then you see like the door open up, and you see Jean like walking through. I was just like, "Ooh, that was a nice scene. I like that." It's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to what they're going to do with the X-Men when they start merging them into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I just want to see some really, really cool scenes. Some good acting, and
I'm excited about the New Mutants movie. I want to see the New Mutants movie.
Yeah.
Jesus, man, like that movie, I feel like it's almost cursed. Yeah. It's like every year they're like, "Hey, we're finally going to release it next year. Hey, we're finally going to release it next year. Hey,
it's a Christmas promise."
Huh?
It's a Christmas promise.
Yeah. It's almost like the movie is like experiencing Groundhog's Day.
Yeah.
It's like it's the same thing over and over again. Like, how do we get out of this loop? How do we get released so people can see us? I was just really hoping that they would just release it on Disney Plus.
They said they were going to release it on Hulu. That's what I heard. The last thing I heard was there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Disney is finally now starting to release some of the X-Men films on Disney Plus. So they already released In the Future Past. They just put out X-Men Apocalypse. So they're slowly like moving that in there. And I also came to this realization earlier today. Now that we're in 2020, like holy crap. This year, the 20th anniversary of the first X-Men film. And I remember seeing this movie. I was in high school.
I
remember seeing this in the movie theater. I even got sneak peek passes to go see the movie. And first time I ever drove to Veterans 24 movie theater. This was before smartphones. This was before, you had to use a map. And I had to like write down like names of streets and figure out like, how do I get there? Okay, if I drive straight all the way here and then make a left here, make a right there, boom, I'm at the movie theater. And but yeah, no, it was an interesting experience. I just remember getting in there and watching the movie and just thinking like, man, this is awesome. Finally, because I even remember
announced their 20th anniversary action figure line for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a there's a Wolverine. There is a Mystique.
Okay.
There is a 2-pack with Charles Xavier and Magneto. And what I like about the 2-pack is that it also comes with the different heads for the different eras. So you get both Magneto heads, plus with a helmet, plus without the helmet, and then you get Professor X with his 2 heads. So I thought that was kind of cool. You know, like you get both versions, so you can play a, you can expand your Marvel line.
What are you searching for, Charles? I'm searching for hope.
Yeah, what are you searching for, Charles?
I'll bring you hope, old friend. I only ask one thing: don't get in my way. It's like one of those great lines, like the delivery of it. Like, I mean, Ian McKellen was such a great actor. Obviously, his relationship with him and Bryan Singer when they did Apple's
Bryan Singer.
Yeah. So like that's what got him the role. But man, they were so close. I think at one point they were talking about Terrence Stamp possibly being Magneto, and like I love Terrence Stamp. I mean, like freaking Zod, And I mean, I think he definitely would have been more over the top than Ian McKellen was. But that would have been so cool to see, like General Zod is Magneto. Like, oh my god, like I one of the things I miss about Wizard is Wizard used to do like the fan casting, so they'd have like a couple pages lined up and they would tell you who they think, what actor in that era, what actor they think would be good playing certain roles. Like I remember one time they were talking about casting a Justice League movie and they were like, Alec Baldwin should be Batman, and it's like, it would have been interesting. Like I just, nowadays when I think of Alec Baldwin, I think of 30 Rock, so it's like
Shadow.
Huh?
The Shadow.
Oh yeah, The Shadow, yeah. Which it really bugs me that they never made another version of that movie, because that movie came out like what, 95?
Somewhere around there. Sure.
Yeah.
93, 94, 95, so here it is, roughly 25 years later, still no Shadow movie, like not even a new version of it, Same thing with the Phantom, like I think the cool thing about those movies was they were nice, like little period pieces, and with the pulp style, but like with the acting and the special effects and the directing that we have now, like like Tim, who do you think right now would be a good Shadow? Like somebody mentioned the actor from Star Wars films. Oh yeah,
me. I even got the nose.
But like, what's his name? Adam Driver. Some people think
Adam Driver would be a fantastic Shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see it. Who would be a good Phantom?
Billy Zane. I thought he was perfect. I thought he was the best Phantom. The Phantom movie is one of my favorite all-time superhero films.
Oh no, William, the Phantom that you think it was remade, that was for a TV show. I think it was like a TV movie.
I saw that one. I've got that one on DVD. Yeah, it's a Phantom 2013 or 20 something like that. Yeah. I had to open it back in the day, but that's the awesome. Billy Zane version of the Phantom. It's a crappy mold, but that's what they made, and that's his throne chair. But I had to open that one because it was one of my favorite things.
I would love the prop replicas made of the 3 skulls.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that would be like really cool to just have like sitting in the room with 3 skulls, where you put them together. What's underrated about that movie too is like you had a lot of great character actors in it. You had I always have trouble remembering his name, but he was in Dexter. He played as Dexter's father.
Yeah. What the hell's that actor's name?
He was in the movie The Warriors.
James Remar?
Yeah, James Remar.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah.
James Remar.
He was in the Phantom.
Yep, he was in the Phantom. He was like, I thought I killed him already, and it's like, like he was a great thug, And then you had Trick Williams.
And then Kerry Tukusawa, the guy who plays the villain. He was also in Planet of the Apes. He plays Singh.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. And he's from Mortal Kombat. Yeah, he's from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you're talking about, I always have trouble remembering his name. I saw him in an episode recently of Renegade.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I can see him in that.
Yeah. He always like would pop up in that's the great thing about some of these actors, like they're so recognizable, and then you see them in other TV shows and okay, just filling in for like that 1 or 2 episodes. But yeah. Oh, and then let's not forget very early in her career, before she blew up, before The Mask of Zorro, the very lovely Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, she's the female lead in it. Yeah, I forgot about that.
And then
You're missing one. You're missing one.
And Buffy the Vampire Slayer herself.
There you go.
Christy Swanson.
Swanson. There you go. Yeah. I had the pleasure of meeting Christy. She's a wonderful Republican. She's a beautiful lady.
Oh, beautiful lady. I saw her in person one time, and I was just like, I wish I could meet you. I wish I could just have something for you to talk to you. And I think, she's kind of just sitting there bored a little bit. She's looking around, and I think we locked eyes. She saw me, and she's like, I think I got someone to buy an autograph. I was just like, beautiful woman. I think the guilty pleasure movie of her is her and Charlie Sheen in the movie called The Chase.
Oh yeah. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
Great film, in my opinion. Fun film.
Unique film. It was shot very uniquely. They spent most of the time in the car.
Oh yeah.
It's just it's an interesting film. Like what's the term where when the victim falls in love with the kidnapper?
Yeah, there's a psychological term for that. There's the Nightingale
syndrome. Nightingale syndrome, and then no, it's Stockholm syndrome. Stockholm
syndrome. There you go. Nightingale syndrome. That's when a patient falls in love with a doctor or nurse that takes care of them.
So there's a little bit of that in that movie, and then it was just fun because it was just Charlie Sheen's character was just he wasn't even expecting to do what he did, kind of just happened, and so and it just kept escalating and escalating, and then she falls in love with him, and he's like, okay, well, let's just get out of here, let's go to Mexico, and they get away. But I mean, one of the cool things I like about that movie is they give you sort of like an alternate ending, so to speak, and it plays out in his imagination. You see all the things, you see something horrible happen, a horrible outcome, and then you see him snap out of it, and it was so very dramatic, and it was it was fun how they shot it, and then when you realize it was just all in his head, he's not dead. Spoiler alert in case you haven't seen the movie. And and I mean some of those early movies, man. I was just thinking about that sci-fi movie that Charlie Sheen made, The Arrival. Remember that?
Yes, The Arrival. That's a good one. I'm trying to get Jeff some promotion. This episode has been brought to you by Mike and Ike. The cotton candy flavor. It's limited edition.
You too.
The Arrival was a good film. I liked it.
Try hard enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it, guys. We got one person watching. Yeah, I'm gonna call it.
That's because we're rambling.
Yeah.
No, we're randling.
Yeah.
Man, there you go. There you go. Trademark.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks, guys, for watching. Be sure to tune in to Extreme Nerd Table next week. You never know who's going to show up. And be sure to tune in to Cantonese Comic Wednesdays every Wednesday. And I'll see you guys next week.
Hold on, Jeff. Let me pitch something.
All right.
I'd like to go ahead and reach out to my son, Logan Guerreri. He turns 30 years old today. Yes, I have a 30-year-old son, Logan. I love you, and I wish you a very happy birthday. Bye.
Yep. Good. Great. Hold on. I'll be right back. I got to exit out and come back in because the computer just zoomed in on the damn thing, so I can't exit out.
Everybody likes me anyway. I'm the handsomest. I'm the most handsome here in my comic room. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. But don't go anywhere yet, Randall. I want to ask you something.
Okay.
Same thing to you, Jeff.